What is going on with everybody? It's your
What
boy
up?
Eric, aka Young God, coming to you in the Green Dungeon, giving it to you real raw rugged. And I got somebody on the other line. I'm letting him introduce himself, man.
What up? What up? My name is Fredo Tovar. One third of APlus Filmz. Scott Elwin. I don't know where they're at today, but I'll be representing for us.
Okay, okay. For the people that don't know about your guys' work, just I guess give them a little background of who you guys have worked with in the past.
Right, right. So our production company name is APlus Filmz, but we direct under just APlus. We started off, shit, it's almost going on 10 years now. 2009, we met Kendrick Lamar before he was Kendrick. He used to go by K Dot. Had a bunch of videos for him. Transitioned with him over when he turned into Kendrick. Did a couple of videos for him, and then stayed within the camp. Did videos for everybody over there, from everybody actually, like SZA, Isaiah, Schoolboy, J Rock, Absol. We've done videos for let's see, MGK, Joey Badass. Uh, we just did some of the younger guys, I guess, like YB and Corday. We just did a video with him and Chance. I don't know. There's a bunch of people that we've done videos for.
You guys are all over the
That's,
place. It was like I was trying to like see who all y'all did video for because I'm very familiar with you guys through the TDE work, and I was just looking at everybody I work for, and I'm like, man, y'all work with everybody. Like it's all over the place. So I guess you said like 10 years is like I guess when the inception was, right?
yeah, that was 2009 for sure. That was the year that we established, I guess, like our company. Uh, you know, Officially, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So that's when we, I guess, recorded from then.
So I guess 10 years ago, like what was the vision 10 years ago? Like was it to get here, or was it a completely different type of thing?
Man, it's crazy because when you're, I guess, if I went back 10 years, you don't really think about that back then. You get what I'm saying? You just kind of like trying to just make shit happen. Like, shit, the reason why we even made it legit was because somebody paid us a check with A Plus Films, and by that time we didn't even have an LLC or nothing, so we couldn't cash the check. So we went to the bank and figured out how to get it done, and went on LegalZoom and got our paperwork done. So back then it was really just trying to trying to get artists that we fucked with to fuck with us. You get what I'm saying? Music that we liked, and keeping our ear to the street to see who was doing dope shit that maybe one day will make it big. So I guess the vision was just to try and try and get a stable business going and try to get in with some dope artists that to us at the time were like people that were in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time we were just shooting local videos for guys that ended up not panning out. You know what I'm saying? Just that local grind. And then the idea was to one day, shoot videos that have bigger budgets and get better ideas out there. That was like the initial goal.
Did you guys have like a legitimate background in directing before you guys created the LLC?
Not necessarily. I mean, obviously, like you go to school. Like Scott and I went to college for film, but that doesn't really prepare you for actually
Mm.
getting out here and doing it. You get what I'm saying? Like to a certain degree, like school, just like I mean, even now it probably is even worse because like you could do a lot of this learning, a lot of this knowledge on YouTube or on your own. You get what I'm saying? Um, College doesn't necessarily prepare you for the actual grind of trying to figure shit out. But no previous experience other than just getting out there and just shooting videos and figuring it out. You get what I'm saying? Like our experience was like grabbing whatever speaker we had at the house and home cameras and finding that homie down the street that rapped and shot him. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
And then figure out how to like edit that shit later. That was the actual experience.
Something that I'm pretty sure that school didn't prepare you for is like dealing with artists. Like I would imagine like some artists are like more difficult to deal with than others. So like how did you learn to like okay, I have to like understand that some artists aren't just always easy to work with. Like what was like the learning curve for you?
I mean, we're still learning. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like that's the number one thing that I go into shooting music videos is like At the end of the day, we only have X amount of hours to shoot this video, and the artist is always going to throw a wrench in there. And like now, we're able to fight more for our ideas and know when to give up on certain things that we're just not going to win.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so, dude, I mean, from the jump, like early, like say, like one of the first artists that we got that was kind of known at the time. He's not that known anymore, but like in LA, he was kind of rising up. In '09, he came on set and he said, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the car. I'll be right back." And he came back 5 hours later. You know what I'm saying? This fool went to dinner.
like, how do you just not even? How do you as a human stay like calm? Because I would be like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, I would be like, nigga, I'm out. I would have left.
Well, the thing about it is that since it's your first time, you don't really know. You get what I'm saying? Like, how do you, if it's your first time, how do you know somebody's going to leave for 5 hours? Had we known that, we would have either started 5 hours later or done, figure some shit out. But honestly, nothing can prepare you, bro, for, you know what I'm saying? Nothing can prepare you. Like, I mean, we got crazy stories about all that kind of stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think you have to just stay. I guess now that I'm aware of like the music industry a lot more, I understand that like artists sometimes aren't up to speed of their videos. You know what I'm saying? They're not up to speed on production. They don't understand production. So you'll have somebody that comes on set and goes, "Oh shit, you know what? Like, yeah, I thought I liked the set to be red, but I want it to be orange now. Yeah, orange would be better." And then like they don't realize that you can't really do that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So sometimes I think it's just like artists are just not in production. Just like I'm not a scientist. You get what I'm saying? So if I went into like the science field and I just threw shit out there, they'd probably look at me like I was crazy. So artists aren't in production, so they don't understand that. So ultimately, what we try to do is try to vet as many of those problems as possible prior to the shoot. You know, ask as many questions as possible. Make sure that they sign off on the idea. Make sure that you don't overpromise them something that you can't achieve either. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes an artist has a great idea, but it's not accomplishable based on budget, based on resources, based on 1,000 different things that you know what I'm saying? Like, you get a crazy request like on the day of, like, oh man, we should have had like cars doing donuts in this video, and you're like, all right, well, how am I gonna get that in the next 30 minutes?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, that shit's not gonna happen. So I think it's just like trying to work with expectations, try to get as much expectations from the artist as possible ahead of time, and kill the ones that are just not gonna happen. You get what I'm saying? And if there are certain things that they want, then let them take care of it.
Mm.
Them and their management. That's what I've done. Like, if somebody comes at me with like a crazy request, it doesn't fit within the budget or it doesn't fit within my resources, it's like, yo, well, if you guys can do it, but I need a response within a timely manner and give them a deadline. If you don't give me an answer by this time, we have to move on from that idea. And usually when you put the pressure on them, they either realize that they don't have enough time in their day, nor do they either have the resources to pull that shit off themselves, and it kind of just goes away. Sometimes you get that artist that like is a stickler for it and they try to put it on you, but ultimately it's like we can't work miracles.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's ultimately like how I approach it is like, if it was easy, then everybody would do it. So obviously, if you want a fucking monster truck in your video, like, we're gonna have to figure that out. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not, nobody's a fucking genie to just wish these things to life and shit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. You get what I'm saying? And most of the time, if you're working with a person that has any source of reason left in their brain, they're gonna be like, all right, you're right, we can't do that. You know?
Has there ever not has there ever, but like, what is the like common, I guess, problem you've realized amongst artists? So like, out of everybody you shot, like, what's the most common thing you're like, we can't do that? Like, most common thing that you run across that's, I guess, a barrier.
The most common thing, shit. shit. I don't even know. I don't know if there's one common thing. I think it's just man. It's like sometimes it'd be like, I guess one of the common things is like sometimes artists don't think that you can also think of crazy ideas.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? So they sometimes go like, "Oh man, I don't know about this treatment. Y'all not really thinking crazy enough." You get what I'm saying? But it's like, no, I can. You just don't have enough of a budget for me to do that. You get what I'm saying? Like, remember we were working with Big Sean really early during like Finally Famous mixtapes.
Yeah.
And we ended up not doing a video because we couldn't pull off him getting dropped off from a helicopter on a skyscraper with a very limited budget. And I was like, now maybe, and then see, sometimes not really even the artists, it's the people around them. You get what I'm saying?
They want to
be like,
they want a nigga to do a Grand Theft Auto mission or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're like, because you go, well, I don't know if I don't think we can make that happen. They think that you're not creative. You know what I'm saying? But it's not that we're not creative. Of course, if we had the budget to do that, I'd think of something sicker. But you know, that takes money and it takes time and resources and it takes permits and all kinds of shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, first of all, who just jumps off a helicopter regardless? You're on a skyscraper. You get what I'm saying? Like, obviously, these people were wilding out. Obviously, once they get bigger budgets, doors open up and resources open up, and you might be able to pull that off green screen or some shit.
Yeah.
But at that time, it just wasn't gonna happen. So I'd say that like the most common thread is like unrealistic expectations sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. So like, not even just being like a professional, but just as like a human, how do you deal with, I guess, people like insulting your intelligence because you're saying like they thinking that you can't come up with like crazy ideas. They're like, oh man, you should do this. Like, how do you like remain like calm and not like act out?
Because at the end of the day, the video's gonna get done regardless. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I see it. So it's like the way that I see it, the way that I approach it is like, all right, once I land the job, and they at least fuck with some sort of what our idea is, and we land it, then on the day of, there's only a certain amount of time that it takes to do these things. So say if the video shoot starts at 8, we're going to be done by 8 p.m. So regardless of the matter, like, we're all going to go home.
Yeah.
So the way that I take it is like, man, if y'all acting crazy like this, then y'all just don't want this video to happen. So for the most part, once you talk reasoning to everybody, people just kind of calm down and realize that, like, okay, I mean, they're either going to have to go in their pockets to spend more bread or just leave it the fuck alone. You get what I'm saying? So it takes some time to understand that. It took me some time to even like be able to be more bold with statements like that, because when I was younger, I would try to accommodate everything for everybody. You know what I'm saying? As much as I could, but then after a while, it's just too much. So ultimately, it's like ideally like coming to an agreement ahead of time, so the amount of money that you get for the video becomes so the idea becomes feasible enough. You know?
It's crazy because like I want to be a nice guy in life or whatnot. But sometimes like being a nice guy, some people try to take advantage of you. So it's like, okay, maybe I gotta like be the villain just a little bit. And then when you do that, people are like, oh, he's an asshole. So it's like sometimes you just can't win. Like, do you ever find yourself in that position? Like, I just can't win.
Yeah, sometimes you can't win. I mean, sometimes I realize that people aren't even gonna be mad at you. So like, sometimes people respect assholes more than they respect nice guys. You get what I'm saying? So
it's a fact.
Ultimately, it's like you're not really being an asshole unless you're being like completely like crazy and like unrealistic on your end as a director. You get what I'm saying? But ultimately, it's like, I mean, the other side of it is this: it's like when we first started, we used to do everything. We used to direct, produce, edit, line produce. Basically, we did every job on set when we first started. So now that we have the ability sometimes to outsource, say, at least the producing of the project. And now sometimes I throw all the crazy shit to the producer. And I'll say, but then because I've done it in the past and I've produced shit, like 95% of my projects, whenever I tell a producer to do something and they seem like they're a little like hesitant about it, I'm not going to ask anybody to do something that I've never done myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm never going to ask somebody to do something that I know that can't be done. I'd be like walling out to do that. You get what I'm saying? So, so I say that like to just be stern and be like hard nosed about your ideas within the parameters that you have. You get what I'm saying? And I think things get done better that way. You get what I'm saying? And then if somebody does want more, then they have to pay for it.
Mm.
Very very simple.
That's a fact. I guess kind of taking a step back a little bit. How did you guys even like build a relationship with TDE?
That was early on. We used to intern at this recording studio with these guys called 1500 or Nothing. They're music producers in Inglewood, California. So like we would say I'm from the San Fernando Valley in LA. So like from my crib back then to Inglewood, that was like a 30-minute drive with no traffic,
Yeah.
maybe an hour drive with traffic. Um, so we used to go there every single day, like after work. Me, my brother, Scott, and a couple other people in our crew. Like we all used to work at this high school. We got a job at a high school. We used to just trap out of there, dog. We used to just like fucking not do our work and just like be in the classrooms after school, like just working on videos and shit
Mm.
and getting paid. So it was like a little hustle. So, but right after that, we hop on a 405 straight to the Inglewood studio. Did that for about 2 years, and then on one of those days, Rance, the guy who runs 1500 Nothing, was like, "Hey, bro, you should come by the studio today. We got J Rock recording, right? And this is 2009 J Rock, so this is around that time he had a song on the radio with Lil Wayne. So I was like, oh shit, like that could be a good opportunity." Because the homie was like, "Yo, come by the studio so J Rock so you can record us while we produce J Rock. Maybe they might want some videos so y'all can holler at them." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we went over there with the intent of just like kind of being a fly on the wall, helping out, and hopefully a conversation could spark and I could show them my work. And I remember TDE at that time they were like probably like they came in there like 8 deep, right? And it was like J Rock, Ali, Kendrick, and then a couple other people in management. I think Ab was there too. But remember, this is '09 TDE.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is not the TDE that people know now or knew right after that. So like, and Kendrick was still K Dot. So when we were chilling there, whatever, I ended up showing one of my videos that we had done to somebody in the studio, and somebody was like, "Oh shit, Fred, I didn't know you shot music videos. I thought you just recorded sessions and shit." So he was like, "No, I direct music videos." So then Kendrick heard that. Then he was like, "Hey, bro, can I see that?" So I showed him the video, and he was like, "Hey, dog, this shit is hard. Like, I need some help. Like, if I send you some tracks, maybe we can work on something."
Yeah.
So we exchanged emails. That same night, he emailed me 2 songs, and I played it for my brother. My brother was like, "Dude, I think this is one of the best rappers I ever heard."
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? And we thought he was the R&B singer because he used to sing hooks on J-Rock tracks. So me being younger and naive, I'm saying now everybody sings on rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But back then, motherfuckers were just accustomed to just rapping and only a fucking girl saying the song or like an R&B soft dude saying the hook. So I thought I didn't think he was a rapper until he sent me his songs and he was just rapping the shit out of those songs. So we ended up, so that's how we got in, by helping Kendrick early on. So by helping Kendrick, our goal was always like, in the beginning was like, if we can help Kendrick, then maybe one day they'll let us fuck with J-Rock.
Mm.
And we just kind of stuck around and became part of their crew and just learned a lot. Honestly, like that was the best teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like just seeing them progress and seeing them figure shit out and being eyewitness to it, we taught us more than anything, more than like college or anybody could ever teach you. You know what I'm saying? Like how to maneuver your way through the industry, and also like those guys are like hard nosed, very disciplined and like tough, like crew. So like dealing with them, I can deal with anybody.
Mm.
You know, that's how I see it.
Yeah, becoming a Kendrick fan, which was like a long time ago, like before he actually blew up as well. I didn't see him being somebody that would be like so big because my thought was like his music probably wouldn't like resonate with the masses. Seems like something he'd be like an underground following people really love. So seeing him like being like basically like the number one rapper right now is really crazy. So when you first found
Yeah.
him and you first heard him, I know your brother said he was like one of the best rappers you ever heard. Did you feel like he would have the potential to be on a mainstream level?
Yeah, it's weird because like nobody believed it. You get what I'm saying? Like as far as like people like my homies and people that rapped around us that were like trying to make it change. You know what I'm saying? Just like any other city,
Yeah.
like LA has a million rappers. You get what I'm saying? So like your homies rap and your homies rap and shit. You know your family members rap. Somebody always rap. You get what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
like we would tell people that no man, I think this guy's gonna be the future. But I mean, other than I guess believing in him, you can't really foresee what happened. You get what I'm saying? For that to be real, but like there was an energy around him that's unexplainable, in a sense. Like I think it was more so just like seeing the commitment level that he had and the crew had to making something happen. That I always believed that he was gonna make it. You get what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like I remember he had a performance with Game at the House of Blues, which is in Hollywood, and this was before he even blew up. So like I remember being outside there. We were just chilling, talking, and I was like, "Hey, dog, I think you're gonna do the Staples Center one day, dog. Like, I'm pretty sure you are." And even in his mind, he was like, "Man, I don't know. Like, well, I guess we'll get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whenever we get there." But I always believed it because it just felt like it was supposed to happen. You get what I'm saying? Like, like whatever the rest of the world figured out, we figured that out really early because we were right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, like recording sessions. Like, we have sessions recorded like so many songs that like are classic songs now. We were there when they were like laying them down in the booth and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So like when you're around that energy, it just feels like it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't say why. I mean, I think it's also because like he was approaching songs in a different manner, uh, and it just felt right. I don't know. It just felt right, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I feel like I haven't met them before, but I've been around rappers before, and you've been around a lot of rappers, and you know how like certain rappers is almost like they're kind of like divas, or they're kind of just they're not
Yeah.
real people. I've never met them, but
Right.
they just feel like TD just feel like they're just regular people that happen to be really talented. Is that
Oh
the right
man,
feeling?
100% is they're just regular people. You get what I'm saying? Like you would never. I mean, obviously they're famous and
Yeah,
they're obviously successful now. So like certain things now that they're accustomed to that they weren't doing back then. You
yeah,
get what I'm
yeah. Of
saying?
course,
Like
of course.
obviously you got dressing rooms in the Staples Center. Like
Mhm.
you're gonna act a little different. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, at the core of it, it's they're just regular people. You get what I'm saying? Maybe other rappers, if you met them and you actually knew them, then they would also come off that way. But maybe because say like I've never hung around with Two Chains, but I would think that Two Chains would act like Two Chains around me,
Yeah.
but he would act like himself around his homies. You know.
Mm.
But no, the other TDE guys are pretty pretty regular people. You know what I'm saying?
Is there a TD song that you remember being in the studio for, and you was like, "Wow, this is gonna be like a really like crazy song when it come out."
It's wild because some of the songs that I thought were gonna be big didn't end up being big.
They didn't.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so you're just like, while you're in there, it's kind of like that syndrome that happens when you're in the studio and everybody's like, oh shit, this shit's hard.
Yeah.
But then like it comes out and it doesn't pick up the energy that you thought it was gonna pick up. Uh, but I think that I don't know. There's a handful of songs like um, we were there. We were there right after they played Kendrick the Jay-Z verse on "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe" the remix.
Mm.
That felt crazy. You get what I'm saying? He was kind of like that was wild. We were there when he recorded "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe" the regular version. Um, but no, you don't really feel it. You get what I'm saying? You don't feel like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. Even in that moment, you're not like you're not thinking about history. You're just thinking about, damn, I'm hungry and I'm gonna get some food. Like, oh man, I gotta charge this battery. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're not really thinking. You're not really tapped in like that. You get what I'm saying? Until later. You know?
Well, something that I've always was curious about, and I remember like I found out y'all did the video for "Free Lunch" by Isaiah, right?
Yeah.
That was when he was a laundromat. Am I right?
That was a laundromat,
That's
yeah.
laundromat video. Okay, so I was always curious of like what was the reasoning with the money being inside of the washing machine.
Well, the idea, like so, like most videos, like you never quite 100% accomplish what you think you're going to accomplish,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, One thing about that video that could have made it better, it should have been shot in his hometown,
Mm.
right? Because the idea was that like in his hometown in Chattanooga, like when we first shot the videos for him for the first project, like people just post up outside of like a liquor, not a liquor store, but like a convenience store, like
Yeah.
a AMPM or like a gas station.
Yeah.
And people are just selling shit. They're just selling incense. They're selling CDs. Selling T-shirts. They're selling burgers on the side, barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Just right
Mm-hmm.
outside, like. And that was the initial idea, but we ended up not shooting it in Chattanooga. We shot it here in LA. So what we did is we flipped that idea into like the laundromat being like a place, like signifying like a place that like people come to get their hopes and dreams accomplished.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? So the money being washed inside of the thing was more so just like kind of like him as the owner. People are giving him basically like people are coming in and paying him for his for like they're cashing in. You get what I'm saying? They're cashing in their dreams and they're getting their accomplishments, right? So he's kind of just cleaning it to make. I don't know. It was probably more so like we tried to make it deep, but maybe it was just more like a visual reference. I guess now that I can think about it, I don't think we quite accomplished that video exactly what we thought we were gonna do. But I think that was like the meaning behind all that was just more so just like accomplishing your dreams, and then imagine if you had a place where you could go cash out your dreams.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like say like one girl in there, she got her diploma. One guy, he was selling. You know what I'm saying? He was selling his T-shirts, and then he went inside and like cashed out and left with a check. Kind of basically like he was kind of like imagine like a imagine if you could cash out your dreams but get a check for them. You
Mm.
get what I'm saying? Like old girl was out there doing hair, so she wants it to turn into a legitimate business, but she can't. So she goes. You know what I'm saying? In this particular place, Isaiah like became that money launderer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that person that could clean your dreams up. Like if you have a hustle, don't feel bad. Like Isaiah can make them legit. You know?
Well, no, I think it's interesting that you said that was kind of like the plan B, the alternative video idea. Like I've had a lot of ideas in general that's like kind of been the backup idea, and I think it became more successful than plan A would have ever been. So has there ever
Yeah.
been any like video ideas that was like, dang, we gotta do plan B, but it ended up being like crazy, and it was like, whoa, this might have been better than the original one.
We did a video for TDE a while back. It was called "Say What's Up."
Fire. Fire,
Uh,
fire, fire.
so we went down there to shoot the video, and we couldn't figure out an idea. And it was one of those times where Top just needed it. We just wanted a video shot that day. Like I said, we were younger, so like you just have more free time. You know what I'm saying? So you're just kind of like kicking it. You know, back then, remember me and my brother didn't really have much going on in our lives, so it was like go play basketball, and then like, oh shit, like Dave called, they want a video today. Fuck it, let's go up there and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that simple. So we're sitting there, and we were trying to come up with an idea, and then Dave was like, "Hey, I got this lens. I don't know what to do with it. It looks like the inside of a camera, but I don't think we can do anything with it. You get what I'm saying?"
Yeah.
So we went out shooting stuff, and it was looking whack. It was looking like a regular video, right? And then Plan B, my brother was like, "Hey, what if we use that lens and we just pretend like they're shooting the video themselves, and this is the point of view from inside of the camera?"
Mm.
And then it turned out to be one of our better videos at the time, and it came from a Plan B. Like we just went out there to try to shoot a regular video, like them posing and acting hard and shit, you know, and then it just turned into not a happy, but it just turned into like
It's fun.
a fun video. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it also broke up like this barrier. Like if you could in that video, like J Rock doesn't look hard.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's another side of J Rock. I don't think they would have given us that had we shot a regular video. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the only times that I could think of that we went in there with one idea, and then a whole other thing just happened, like, and then it just worked, you know?
Well, that video felt organic, and the way you were just saying, like, if you hung around 2 Chainz, he'll probably act like 2 Chainz. But if he was around his homeboys, he'll probably just act like
Yeah,
himself or whatever. So when you say
yeah,
you've seen a different side of J Rock, that was probably just because he was having fun. He was with his friends, he was with everybody he
yeah,
knew, and it felt organic. He was just being himself. So yeah,
exactly.
I think that's really key for like directors to try to get different sides, because if you see one side of somebody for 20 years, it's gonna be like, okay, it's kind of getting old. But if you see like their different
Yeah.
facets or whatever, so yeah, I think is that something you like try to focus on? You try to get like sometimes you try to get like a different side of a rapper. Like is that ever a focus of yours?
You try. Sometimes you go into it with an idea, and hopefully they fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on like, hopefully the artist is not tired. Hopefully they're not like dealing with some shit, or hopefully they didn't just shoot a video last week that's similar to your idea. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? So yeah, you sometimes try to bring people over to a more of a different vibe. Like right now, we're working very closely with Corday, with YBN Corday,
Mhm.
and when you meet him, he's like a goofy, like regular fucking teenager kid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like for him, we had to like express to him that like no, you could be multiple things in your videos, bro. You could
Mm.
be sad, you could be mad. Like one of the last videos that we did for him, he kind of looks demonic at the end of the video,
Mm.
and he was tripping about it. He was like, man, you know what I'm saying? My mom, she ain't gonna like me for being. I look like I'm summoning the devil, and I was like, look, bro, it's just a fucking video, bro. Like,
Mm.
it's just like you're acting. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you're playing a role, and it didn't get fully through to him. But this last video that we did, we got him to play a homeless man. So like, he was cool with it. So I think now he's understanding that it's okay to just be something other than yourself, or like it's okay to show your vulnerability whenever it's needed. You know what I'm saying? So
Is it different dealing with younger artists, because I know he's like pretty young. So is it different dealing with somebody like him rather than like an older artist? Like what are like the differences between the two?
new artists are their attention span is way less.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I felt like like dealing with like Kendrick when we first met him, he was just a regular level-headed dude. Like probably if it hadn't worked out, he would have just got a job.
Yeah.
You know, type of dude. And um, like Corday, He's growing up on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So like he's just spews out ideas left and right, and like you know what I'm saying. No 19-year-old or however old he is should be that successful that early, but they are. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like you add the ADHD level to like them being successful, and then now you get like Instagram attention. So I can only imagine how. Oh, here's the other thing. Like new artists are always on their phone.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? Like they're like Corday we'll be about to start shooting, and he'll get a phone call or a FaceTime, and he just goes on it. And I'm like, bro, we're about to shoot. Oh my bad. I'm gonna call you back. You get what I'm saying? Type shit. So I'd say new artists are a little bit more like attention span. You gotta like keep tapping them on the head to fucking focus.
Is I mean that's like growing up in the internet. I feel like a lot of like people that grew up with the internet, short attention. That's why Instagram is like quick videos, a picture you like it, keep going or whatever. So
Yeah.
everything is like I don't has your attention span changed since social media has like became a big thing, or have you same have like this still like? Cause I would as a producer you would have to have like a an attention span of just like really great. You can't just like lose it because you might lose an
Yeah.
idea.
I mean, I made a conscious decision to not Instagram as much
Mm,
like 5 years ago.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? I told probably 5 years ago, I used to post a lot and tweet a lot. That's how it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like 2009 to 2011, like Twitter was big, and I was tweeting every day, and I thought I had to tweet every day to get on and
yeah.
meet people, and I was out there trying to network, I guess, through Twitter, and then Instagram happened, and I treated it the same, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna post 3 times a day,
Yeah.
twice a day, type shit. You get what I'm saying? And then one day, I don't know what it was, like my brother stopped posting, and he wouldn't post for like a month. And then I was like, man, my brother seems a lot more chill.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So I stopped posting, and then I realized, then I just focused on my work as opposed to focusing on posting
Mm.
something dope. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like little by little, like I don't have a lot of Instagram followers, but I have more success than maybe some people that have a lot of Instagram followers and they don't get as much work as I do.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? So it just works for me. You get what I'm saying? It might not work for everybody else, but like I learned to just like focus a lot on my actual craft than the perception of my craft working.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? Now I could probably post a lot and I feel more comfortable with myself because I have accomplished a lot of the things that I wanted to
Yeah.
accomplish. You get what I'm saying? But at the time when I wasn't as accomplished, I started feeling bad for myself. I was like, man, why the fuck am I posting all this shit? I'm not even like getting work. I'm just reposting old photos and fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I made that decision for myself, my life got better. But not to say that somebody that posts a lot isn't doing well. I think it's just individual. But like for me, that's what it was. Yeah.
That's a good point. I guess before we get out of here, I do have one fan question. Young NATO, he says, "Hey man, I'm a big fan. I'm curious if you had a funny or really interesting TDE story that you're willing to share."
A funny, interesting story that I'm willing to share. It's a funny story. I actually do have a funny story. So like 4 years ago, we went. Kendrick had a show in Puerto Rico, and we went. It was me, only Scott and I went on my team. My brother ended up not going. So one night, and then they had free liquor, right? They had like six. You get a wristband and you get six drinks before 6 p.m. and then six drinks after 6 p.m. for free at the resort. So Scott and I found like a little bar hut outside of the resort, and they were selling 25-cent beers.
Mm.
And it was so by the time I got there, Scott was already like 12 beers in, bro. So he was already like fucked up. And then I ended up drinking another like 10 myself. So Scott must have had like 20 beers.
Mm.
That was wild. So we got back to the resort, and he kept drinking them free drinks. So then the next morning, we wake up in the room, and for whatever reason, Scott's bed is all wet, right? Like he's just drenched, and his pants are. I mean, his shoes are having his shoelaces, and his shoes have water inside of them. And the man's like, "Yo, Scott, what the fuck did you do, dog?" He's like, "Dog, I don't remember. It was the last thing I remember was hanging out with J Rock, and I have no idea what happened." So I was like, "What?" So I was like, "All right, bro. So I bet you." No. The last thing he remembered was hanging out with Musa, which is Top Son, right? And then I was like, "Well, when we go to breakfast, I bet you they're gonna clown you, bro. So you gotta be ready because I'm pretty sure you did some wild shit. Cause if you blacked out around these dudes, I don't know what they did to you, bro. Like you probably got haze or some shit, right?" So we go to breakfast, nobody says anything. We go to lunch, nobody says anything. So we're like, damn, dog, what the fuck happened to this guy? So we finally see J Rock. And I was like, "Hey, Rock, like by any chance, do you have any idea what happened to Scott?" He was like, "Bro, I don't know what the fuck happened to Scott, but I woke up wet in my bed." He was like, "I lost my wallet, I lost my phone, I lost everything." So I don't know what happened, but I think maybe they tried throwing J Rock and Scott into the pool or some shit. So that was a funny moment on our end.